Hello Blood Bowl fans and members of the ICBBL, especially the Steel quarterfinals are now complete. Unfortunately, we did have to admin one of the quarterfinals, which we really don't like to do, but it was necessary, we had to move on, so... unlucky to you, Cindy, I know you have been sick, it's a valid reason to not be playing Blood Bowl, but we can't wait any longer, I'm afraid, so the win has gone to Andy's. One more thing I'll say as well is that Chris J actually did a recording of this video, so if you do want to watch it, then go check out Chris J's channel and find this game. It's the one game that we actually had recorded. Anyway, this is how the quarterfinals played out. Dark Physicist's Chaos ICBBL Kill Men's managed to beat Nawafal's Skin Diseases 2-1. Looks like it was a bit of a grind. We will look at the games in detail as always shortly though. Valkson's Judgment of the Worthy, the Khemri team, managed to knock out the Skaven team led by Chris J, which is a bit of a shock result to me, but both coaches are fantastic, so it's not too much of a shock. And unfortunately Chris J is now out, and Judgment of the Worthy are still in. And this game must have been pretty much an epic, and I did see it, it was pretty good. It went into overtime and everything. Oog's Ubergothy Hose managed to beat Rylok's Touch New Balls, Dark Elves Wood Elves, 3-2 to the Dark Elves. And lastly, unfortunately, Andy's has been given an admin win against Ysinde, the Necromantic team DONZ against the Orc team Organic Food. Sad to see this team fall out. Hopefully we'll see them in the future though. And that's a 2-1 win, of course. So that's it for the games. Let's have a look at them in more detail. Alright then, let's get this playoff underway then. Game number 1. We saw Dark Physicists Kill Men's against Nawafal's Skin Diseases. I have been given a breakdown, surprisingly, from Dark Physicist, so let's have a look at that. It's pretty short, which is good. So, Kill Men's 2-1 Skin Diseases. A very close match. A riot on turn 16 almost tied the game for the Skin Diseases, but a failed dodge through a touchdown, through a tackle zone, brought down the High Elf thrower with dodge. The men's have a hard choice as the only unskilled warrior was injured with a miss next game replacement. Goat with miss next game which was replaced. And Goat with BH. I'll have a look at that in a minute. And the health injuries were badly hurt, I believe. Other than that, a traditional 2-1 grind that the healths almost prevented. 2 goats leveled, block sure hands, and the NOS catcher of the diseases leveled dodge, I think. Okay, I'll have a look at all that in a second. So, a tight game then, and Dark Physicist went through, which I'm quite happy about because Dark Physicist knocked me out, so I would like to see Dark Physicist go quite far as a result. 2 touchdowns, 2 passes, 9 armor breaks, and Chaos Warrior got MVP. And Nawafal, 1 touchdown, 2 passes, 2 armor breaks. Yeah, a bit of a tough matchup maybe for the High Elves, and Catcher got MVP. NOS is Nerves of Steel, I see. And he has also got an injury. So 9, 10, 14, 17 for the Chaos, and 10, 14 for Dark Physicist. That's the end of the road for the Skin Diseases, unfortunately, but they can continue in Bronze next season regardless, so they can auto-promote if they want to. Let's start with the Chaos team though. So he replaced that one miss next game Chaos Warrior with a brand new Chaos Warrior because he could afford it, and he still has 120 in the bank, so he could really easily afford it apparently. And Beastman has leveled up with Sure Hands. I'm still not sure what the BH stands for, but I won't even worry about that at the moment. So there we go, we got the Free Mighty Blow, 4 lots of block, and Sure Hands on the team. This Chaos team has developed very nicely. And even though I do hope to see it in Bronze, I do know that Darth is going to be busy next season, so I don't know if he's going to continue with this team. So my guys will have to fill in the gap where this team have left off. Then Chaos, of course, move on to their match next week. We'll have a look at who they're facing at the end of the video. And the Skin Diseases, who unfortunately we are saying goodbye to. They've still got 9 players and 50 in the bank, which doesn't really help them. And Nerves of Steel guy has been given dodge, like Dark Physicist said. And there doesn't seem to be any other developments. But this team as a whole, if it goes into Bronze, not looking too bad really. The 2 Blitzers are still fine. One of them is looking close to leveling up. We've got a Thrower and a Catcher with dodge. We've got 2 Catchers with dodge actually. And we've got as well a Catcher with Nerves of Steel. Dodge of course. A lineman's been given dodge and a lineman's been given kick. So not overall bad development for the High Elves really. I would like to see more high elves and bronze, so hopefully we will see them promote when the season is finished. But Naufel has not yet given us his indication, so I'll say this now: any team that has not yet given your indication as to what you're doing with your steel team or pyramid team next season, sorry, can you please tell us by the end of this week, so we can get the design out of the way. It makes it easier on the board. There's a good chance that if you don't tell us by the end of this week, we will automatically retire your team, so please do let us know. Thank you very much. Moving on to the second game. And game number 2, we saw Judgment of the Worthy, which is Vaxen, take on the Rivertown Cheese Monsters, which is Chris J. And surprisingly, I actually have a breakdown from both coaches, so that's very nice. Let's have a look at 2 of them, starting with the unfortunate team we're saying goodbye to, Chris J's team. Chris J says, Judgment of the Worthy, Vaxen versus Rivertown Cheese Monsters, Chris J. I made a ton of mistakes in this one, starting right at the beginning of the match when I set the rats up for defense instead of attack. I don't even want to talk about the rest of them. I just lost my head after that poor start. I see. Unlucky Chris. In the end, 4 Skaven leveled up. We'll have a look at that in a minute. It would have been great to continue. So, yeah. Unlucky Chris. And Vaxen said, Judgment of the Worthy, Camry versus Rivertown Cheese Monsters, Skaven, blah blah blah. Pre-game, Skaven bought 1 Bloodwiser Babe, and Camry bought 1 Bribe. Camry won the toss, elected to kick. Positioning saw the rats being forced into an early score by turn 3. Camry, with a bit of luck, managed to get the equaliser on turn 8 to make it 1-1, half-time. End of the first half saw 2 injured and 4 KO'd rats. Babes got to work and revived 3 of the 4 KOs. Second half was a steady slog up the pitch that saw the rats, who were down 3 players, unable to break the Camry cage. Camry crossed in turn 16 for a 2-1 lead. Skaven did not succeed in 1-turn touchdown attempt. Final score 2-1 and victory to the Camry. Highlights: it was a pretty standard 2-1 slog. Nuffle double-skulled Skaven twice at potentially crucial moments. Skaven coach accidentally set up for defense when he was on attack on first half, which disrupted his play and contributed significantly to the forced early touchdown. Solid positioning from Camry made it very difficult for the Skaven to bust the cage, and I've been given post-match level ups for both teams, so let's have a look at that in a moment. So, unlucky Chris J, well done Vaxen. I've got to say as well, unlucky Naufel, well done Dark Physicist from the last game. 2 touchdowns, 16 armor breaks, and Skeleton getting MVP. 1 touchdown, 2 passes, 4 armor breaks, and Strength Lineman getting MVP. And both MVPs leveled up. SPP then, we've got 13 against 14, so pretty close in SPP. Starting with a team that is actually advancing them, Judgment of the Worthy, the Camry team. And we do have some level ups. There's just this one skeleton here, second priest of Mart, and Vaxen has said he is temporarily withholding the decision to see which team he is up against next week, which is fair enough. Other than that, the team is exactly the same as it was before. We've got 100,000 to spend. Playoff stage, better off keeping that, to be honest, and using it on inducements if you feel like you need them. And with a 13-man roster, I don't see him spending any money anyway. If he doesn't end up spending it, he can maybe take the 3rd reroll. But good-looking Camry team going into the next leg of the playoff. And for the Cheese Monsters, unlucky to Chris J, we are saying goodbye to him, unfortunately, and his rats. There are 2 injuries, which would have hurt his chances anyway, so there is that. We're going to miss next game. And 1 point in movement, which is not really great on a thrower. That kind of sucks. As he's a rookie, may even replace him, if it was me. But entirely up to Chris J, of course. And let's have a look. He has given me the breakdown, the level ups. I have seen them somewhere. So we had Elemental got Block, this one here. Storm Vermin Cheddar got Claw, which was a double, of course. Chevre got Sidestep, and Mozzarella got Block. So Block, Sidestep, Claw, and Block. It's a good-looking Skaven team. I don't know if Chris J is going to keep his Orcs or if he's going to give the Skaven one more run. I think he has announced it, but I don't remember what he said. Or he hasn't. He didn't decide until he wanted that. I can't speak. Or he wasn't going to decide until he saw how the rats did. I can't remember. But I'd actually quite like to see him continue with this rat team because they're looking very nice. Though only the lineman's got the stat up, I guess, so not great. But Mighty Blow Claw Storm Vermin, that's pretty huge. And Guard on the other Storm Vermin, this team looks very nice. Nothing more I can really say here. And 70 grand to replace the thrower if necessary, or to buy one more rat if you're feeling a bit fouly. So, unfortunately we are saying goodbye to this team, from steel at least, but we may see them in bronze next season. That's it for game number 2. Alright, and this was probably the highlight game of the week, though also the Orcs and the Undead was also Orcs and Necromantic even were also one of the highlights of the week. Though the Ubigothihos Dark Elves from Oog against Ryluk's Touchney Bulls, the Wood Elves. This was the game I would have watched if I had time to watch one game. And I have had a breakdown from Oog, of course, so let's have a look at that first of all. And Oog has said, pitch invasion down 10 Wood Elves and 1 Dark Elf on Dark Elf attack, which allowed a walkthrough to the end zone and a short stall until woken up Angry War Dancer almost killed caged Blodger with Bull Carrier with 1 die lead block. That's a really awkward sentence. I'm not sure if that made sense. So, a War Dancer woke up and almost killed a Blodger Witch, that was the Bull Carrier with a 1 die leap into a block. Okay. Assassin stabbed him to the ground for that, and the other Witch scored. The same War Dancer injured 2 more in the subsequent counter, including the leader piece, the runner. A 2-turn counter was thwarted by a riot. Dark Elves got rerolls 2 of 3 times in kickoff, letting them keep 1 till overtime versus none on Wood Elf side. The War Dancer became very unlucky to the end after the Witch Elves scored again, and Dark Elves were only at half strength. Dark Elves diverted Wood Elves. Yeah, when you put WWE, I'm not sure if you're talking Wood Elves or Witch Elves here. Dark Elves diverted the Wood Elves on right side and scored on the left, with risky dodging by the Junior Witch. Subpar positioning and bad block allowed Dark Elves to cover and steal the ball and score again. End result 3-2 to the Ubigothihos. Oog, I like your style of writing, but when you're doing it for a breakdown, it's really confusing to read. So if you can make it a bit less narrative and a bit more statistical, that would really help me out. Thanks. So the Dark Elves, 3 touchdowns, 16 armor breaks, and Blitzer got MVP. And Touchney Bulls, 2 touchdowns, 11 armor breaks, and Aluna lineman Tasley got MVP. Not sure what's happening with this Wood Elf team. Interesting to see if Tasley has been capped. We got 11-17 against 10-17. 17-17 by SPP. Let's have a look at the team, starting with the team that is continuing to the final, to the semi-final, sorry, not the final. And I do have to level up, so let's have a look again. So, Junior Witch got plus movement, so Rizalel got plus movement, there we go. And the Blodger Blitzer got Nerves of Steel, so yeah, these 2 pieces leveled up here. We've also taken an injury on a lineman, and it's only a miss next game. And the runner at least wasn't permanent, so you do still have that reroll. And I see you've bought your second team reroll, so that is good news. So we're going to be a little bit more sensible going forward with this team. Good to hear. And unfortunately the Assassin still hasn't leveled up, and Oog did confirm that the Assassin has been there from the beginning. I thought he had, but I wasn't 100% sure, so thank you for confirming that. That did help. Otherwise, yeah, this team is looking pretty good. Let's see how they do next week against their other opponent. And the team we are unfortunately saying goodbye to, Ryluk's Touchney Bulls, the Wood Elves. Tasley is not in the team, he wasn't bought, and it doesn't actually look like there was a level up, though I don't think there were 2 lots of guard before, or were there? Maybe there were. Well, anyway, we rolled 3 doubles in this team, 1 Mighty Blow and 2 lots of guard. That's lovely. Or disgusting, however you want to look at it. Yeah, just missing 1 piece that we can't replace, so this is the end for the Wood Elves. I'm pretty sure the Lizards are going to stay in gold. I don't think the Wood Elves are going to go forward, but Ryluk may surprise us. Either way, unlucky Ryluk, good work Oog. We'll see Oog in the semi-final, and we'll see this Wood Elf team maybe next season, maybe not. That's it for game number 3. Alright then, lastly looking at game number 4, which unfortunately was an admin win given to Andes. Always sad to see, but we'll have a look what happened. So Don's, D-O-N-Z, is the team that we see going forward, with 2 touchdowns, of course, and MVP on a zombie. And the 2 touchdowns went to the same person, Mr. Don Z. And the same for the Orcs, actually. The touchdown went to this same Black Orc, who now has 11 SPP, so that's a nice level up, and of course the 1 touchdown. So let's have a look how the 2 teams have finished. Volcanic Food, who we are unfortunately now saying goodbye to, and I don't think they're going into bronze. I think the gold Chaos team is continuing, so unfortunately this is full goodbye for the Orcs for now. The season ended for them with a Black Orc with Block, a Black Orc leveled up, all 4 Blitzers leveling quite nicely, Mighty Blow Tackle, Diving Tackle Guard, Block Mighty Blow, and Block Guard. So, nice finish for the Orc team, with 22 in the bank as well, which we are probably going to see spent if we ever see this team come up again. Interesting to see where these Orcs go. So, unlucky Yasinde, and the team going forward to next week is the Necromantic team led by Andy's, D-O-N-Z, and we only have that level up on a zombie, but this team is still looking pretty nice, and that's basically all I have to say. So this team is going forward. We have 17 in the bank. I don't think he's going to spend it, to be honest. We could see a ghoul, because there's no ghoul in the team, but other than that, not likely to see it spent. So there's that. And having a look at this week coming up then. Dark Physicist Kill All Men's takes on the Khemri team, Judgment of the Worthy, led by Varkson. Oogs Ubergothyhos, the Dark Elf team, take on Andy's, D-O-N-Z, the Necromantic team. I know that Chris J was talking about maybe looking at one of these games, and I'm talking about looking at maybe one of these games. If either of us can do it live, maybe we will. Otherwise, I guess that we'll take a recording each from the semi-final. Need to confirm that with Chris J, but I'll say that now. That's something that I would like to do, and I think Chris J wants to look at the rest of this as well, so maybe we'll do 1 game each, and then we'll hopefully do the final together. And because it's a knockout, we don't need to worry about the leaderboard, so that's all we have to look at now. Dark Physicist against Varkson, Oog against Andy's. Good luck to all 4 coaches. That's it for this rundown. Thank you very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing these games. Bye bye for now.